Are you desiring more out of life? More love, more connection, more experience, just more aliveness? Well, that is your soul calling you, and together we are going to uncover those soul desires and help you bridge the gap between your physical life and your true soul self. Welcome to the Suddenly Spiritual Podcast. My name is Emilee. I'm an intuitive, a psychic medium, and someone who recently and very suddenly awakened to spirituality. On this podcast, we are going to talk all about connecting with your soul to live your fullest, most beautiful life. We're going to talk about spirituality from the perspective of the everyday person. It's my goal that you feel seen and supported on this journey of discovering your soul and awakening to the incredible world of spirit. Let's get started.
Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome back to the Suddenly Spiritual Podcast. Today is an extra special episode because it is the very first reader submitted question that I'm going to answer here on the podcast. So, for the last several weeks, maybe the last month, under each podcast episode has been a link where you can submit a question to have me channel messages for you from Spirit and share those messages to answer your question here on the podcast. The reason that I have opened up this offering for a free reading is because I found that with pretty much every reading that I do for someone, the messages that come through are just so potent and beautiful and applicable to so many more people than just the person receiving the message. And so by sharing these messages on the podcast, I feel like I'm really doing what Spirit is calling me to do, which is to share these messages of love, of how to journey through transformation, of soul connection, of growth with a wider audience. Because every time Spirit comes through for a message, it's not only for that specific person, it's for so many more people. So many more people can benefit from it. So, my intention with these episodes is to share these messages from Spirit with a broader audience to give you that little spark in your heart, that little light bulb moment where the light bulb turns on right above your head, that aha moment where you understand a new perspective. You see how these messages can relate to your life in whatever way they relate, and you get something out of this. Spirit speaks to you, to your heart. And today is our very first episode, our very first live channeled message. I guess before I dive in, you might hear my voice is a little weird. And I am sick once again. I've just been sick pretty much every week, every other week since November. So I apologize that my voice is a little raspy, a little weak. Hopefully, you can still hear me and understand me perfectly fine. And I hope that the messages still come through clearly and have the same amazing effect on you. So, today's reader question, it comes from Rhianna, and Rhianna asks, "When will I find a new job?" Now, with these readings, I'm not doing any kind of future predictions. So, I'm actually not exactly going to answer her question, but I will let you know why I'm not doing future predictions. The reason I'm not doing future predictions is because kind of I don't know if I fully believe in them right now. How I see our lives is we all have so much free will. And when I do one of these readings, I'm connecting with your energy right now, with where you are right now. And when I get messages or hints about the future, it's based on your energy right now. But something could happen tomorrow and everything could change. You could move on a new path. You could do something to disrupt that path that you're currently on. Your future is malleable. And so I don't really feel comfortable making specific future predictions because I think that there's too much variance. So instead of answering Rhianna's question about when will I finally get a job, I just tuned into Spirit to ask for some guidance in her search for a job. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you these messages and feelings that came through when I tuned in for her. So, when I tuned in for Rihanna, the first thing that Spirit brought my attention to was this feeling of being kind of stuck, a feeling of being stagnant, and this feeling of kind of being resigned to the fact that there's not a lot of movement right now. It felt like a resigned energy and kind of a bored energy. Like this acceptance that this is my life right now. These are my only options. It felt very narrow and unexciting is what I'll say. And what Spirit led me to through that was that in your search for a new job, your vision of what is available to you and what types of jobs that you should apply for, it's a little bit narrow. And it feels very unexciting. It feels like maybe you're searching for the job that you think you should have or that you think you can get, and that's what you're applying for, but you're not applying for anything that makes you feel excited, or you're not looking for anything that makes you feel excited. And what came through was to widen your view about what is possible for you. Right now, your outlook is narrow and it's sort of based on obligation about what you think you should do. And there's this push or guidance for you to widen that perspective, widen your view of what is available to you, of what's possible for you, of what you could do, and it doesn't have to be what you've always done. I get the sense that you're looking for something pretty similar to your past jobs, but there's this sense that what's in front of you doesn't have to be exactly the same as what's behind you. It doesn't have to be completely new, but also you don't have to replicate that same experience. That there's more possibility for you than just what you've already had. Something clearly I heard you don't have to stay where you are. You don't have to stay where you are. And part of that message is about not staying where you are in terms of what your career is, but it's also about your physical location. And when the guidance came through to widen your search, it's not just about widening your search for the types of jobs you're looking at. It's also about widening your search in terms of the location. And I think that you don't want to move, is like the feelings that I'm getting. But there's a little push that there might be more exciting opportunities for you if you branch out farther to a bigger location, to a different city, and potentially even to a different state. So it's just something to keep in mind with any of this guidance that's coming through. Use your own gut, your own intuition, trust yourself, and take what you want, leave what you don't. Just trust yourself more than you trust me. But that's what I'm feeling. Specifically, if you want to get really specific, I just keep hearing Kansas City. So do what you will with that, but maybe just consider widening your search to some new cities and seeing what's possible for you in those areas. One thing that stuck out to me from your question immediately when I read it was the word new. And what Spirit immediately impressed on me is that what you are moving into is not going to be completely new. I got the feeling that right now you have an opportunity to expand on something that you already know, knowledge that you already have. And I have a feeling that this has to do with skills within your creativity and also skills within your ability to connect with other people. I think you have incredible skills of connecting with other people, talking with other people, and being in community with other people. And you also have incredible skills in creativity. And you have an opportunity now to kind of expand on that. And I know those are such broad areas, saying connection with others and creativity, that's so broad, but there's something in there for you to go deeper into. Right now is an opportunity for you to look for what you really want, not just what you think you can get, not just what you think you will be most successful at, but to ask yourself, what do you want to do? I'm not sure if you've asked yourself what you want to do. I think that you have probably just been applying for the responsible position. You've been doing what you think is possible. And there's some encouragement to stop for 1 minute and ask, well, what do I want to do? And what feels exciting to you? What feels fun? What feels like an opportunity that makes you smile or that makes you excited in that kind of like nervous, new excitement feeling. There's knowledge and passion that you have in a subject already that you are going to have the opportunity to expand on. I was seeing you at kind of an in between job or a filler job, is what was coming through to me. Sort of like maybe at a coffee shop or something like that, a job that you can have in the in between time until you find your next big job, if that's what you're going to move into. I don't feel like you have to, but that's if that's what you're going to move into. I feel like there's an in between time. I'm sure that you want to find this next big job right away. And I'm not sure if it's going to happen right away. I do feel like there's some in between time for you. And the thing about getting this in between job, and I kept seeing a coffee shop, but maybe it's like a bookstore, maybe it's something like that, or even like a beauty salon or something. The thing about this in between job is that it will let you take some of the pressure off of this job search. Right now, it feels like there's a lot of pressure on it, a lot of pressure on finding the next thing. And it's kind of forcing you to strangle your options. It's kind of forcing you to find the next thing purely out of necessity, which makes sense. We all need an income, we all need a job. But I feel like if you took an in between job or a filler job, something like that, that will give you some more space and some more time to decide where you really want to go, not where you feel like you have to go, not what you feel like you have to do, but what do you want to do? There's a real opportunity for you right now to explore that. Like you've been gifted this in between time to reassess and explore, well, what do I want to do? What do I want my work situation to look like? And I feel like this in between job will be something that supports you so that you can pursue your passions, even if it's that right now you take an in between job and then you get some education in something that you are passionate about. I just feel like there's some in between time for you, and there's some time for your own exploration and you to decide what's next. You don't have to rush into the next big thing, but you can take the time to really connect with yourself and think about, what do I want? And you can create some stability in your life with this filler job, this in between job, to really feel into what you want and really support you as you make a more conscious decision of where you want your life to go next. I also could feel that there might be jobs you've seen that you are interested in. Maybe even as I'm saying it, they might even be like mentorship type jobs or internship type jobs. That's not quite the right word, but like more a job that might be kind of even like more entry level. These jobs that you've seen that really pique your interest, but you don't apply for them because they don't feel like the thing that you're supposed to do. or maybe it's in a different field than you think you're supposed to be in. And Spirit is really just wanting to encourage you that the vision of success that you are trying to live out by doing what you think you're supposed to do, that isn't your true desire. That's not your personal, unique definition of success. Your life doesn't have to reflect what society is bringing to you. Maybe you will find this one solid career or this one job that is the thing. But also, maybe you'll find 2 part-time jobs. Maybe you'll find a part-time job and have like a side hustle. Maybe you will, do some sort of freelance work for somebody. I just think that, and what I'm feeling is that you can design your life in a way that reflects your unique goals and creativity and happiness and your soul and your true self. And you don't have to put all of that on one single job. Right now, your life might be calling you to more variety. It might be calling you to more growth. And so, your question of when will you find a new job? Spirit didn't really give me a clear answer. I don't really have a clear answer, but I do think that there's an opportunity for like a bridge, a filler job that kind of acts like a bridge and that gives you this stability where you can explore all of these other things in your life that have been begging for your attention. It's a real opportunity for you to explore those passions and to see where it leads you. Don't let yourself get stuck into the idea that your success is based on your job title. You can pursue a life of passion and happiness, and that can be more than enough because it's based on you, on what's in your heart and in your soul. And I know that obviously we need to pay our bills, we need to have financial stability, but in that search for stability, don't forget to ask yourself what you want. Remember that you are crafting your life right now, and you get to make the decisions about what your life looks like right now. And this time in between, it's such a beautiful opportunity. It's a time when Spirit is pushing you, forcing you to reassess. Like, this is the best time to realign things in your life so that they make the most sense for you, not for society, not for what you think you should do, but for you and what your soul is calling you to do. So, Rhianna, and everyone listening, I really hope that this is helpful for you. I hope it provides you some snippets of guidance, some clarity, some new perspective, some different ways to shift your thinking so that you can move forward with this incredible opportunity you've been given. Know that I am always wishing the best for you, and I'm sending you so much love, and I am so excited to hear about your own unique, beautiful version of success that you create for yourself. All right, I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Suddenly Spiritual podcast. I'm so grateful that I get to be part of your journey of spiritual expansion. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you would leave a review for me on Apple Podcasts. It's a quick, free, easy way for you to support this podcast, and it helps me reach more people who are looking for support on their spiritual journey. You can find a link to leave a review in the show notes. Thank you so much, and I'll chat with you soon.